Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the first day of the Watercolour Advent Calendar. Your Christmas countdown starts here. We're going to have a mindful moment every day, enjoying a little watercolour tutorial together. So let's see what's behind door number 1. Ah, a lovely little Christmas tree. Grab your paints and let's get started. Well, how exciting to be painting on the first day of Advent. So I've got all my stuff ready and I'm going to try just using the lid of my palette to start off with, see how we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get a little bit of a glow on my page, because we've painted a Christmas tree before on the Advent calendar. And I like to, if I have repeats, I want to offer something a little bit different. So to start off with, I'm just going to draw a very rough, sort of faint triangle shape with a little bit of a curved bottom. And we'll do a little stand, little pot for it to go in. And don't forget, if you don't really like drawing or find drawing very difficult, you can just pause the video at this point and then you can screen grab and use it to like download and turn into a traceable. Okay, so I'm going to wet the page around the tree with my size 4 brush. So I'm just going to get the page a little bit damp, and we're not talking about puddles of water, standing water, just a little bit damp. And then I can use some of this lemon yellow to create a lovely glow around the edge of the tree. So I'm just dabbing it on. If you want, you could take a little bit of a red colour, mix it in. You can see how strong it is, just with a tiny bit, and maybe I'll just add in a little bit like that, and we're going to let that dry 100%, and then we can start painting our decorations on. And just look how that colour really fades out as it dries. Oh, I've already covered in paint. This is so ridiculous. Right, I'm such a messy painter. I sympathise if you are too. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to paint in some decorations on the tree. So the order of which we're doing these things is a little bit different this year. So I've got my smallest brush, my 4/10 brush, and I'm going to pick up colours in quite a concentrated form, really quite strong. So I've got some Alizarin crimson here, and you can paint whatever you like, really. We could start with some simple circles. Or you could sort of adapt the shape a little bit, maybe one of those sort of slightly retro, twisty shaped ones. You know, we are painting pretty small, so keep it relatively simple. And we're just going to fill up the tree with your choice of Christmas decoration. You can choose any colour you like, really. I'm going to go with some blue as well, maybe a little star. I decided to do a Christmas tree as day 1 because it feels more and more as I get older that a lot of people's tradition is to get their tree on the first day in Advent, 1st of December. And it never used to be like that when I was little. I remember, I mean, we were quite late anyway, I seem to remember. Might do some with a little gap on them as well. I'm also going to do some golden ones. So I've got some quite a thick cadmium yellow there, because it will stand up against the glow behind it. Yeah, we never used to get our tree until about the 16th of December. And I think it was maybe because we sort of waited for the school holidays or something like that. But nowadays it's much more of a, yeah, get in there. Some people are even earlier, aren't they? I mean, have you got your tree already? Let me know in the comments below. I love one of the favourite things with the Advent calendar is the community we form over these days of Advent, where we can all sort of be painting together and also discussing our Christmas traditions, because I love to hear how you celebrate Christmas around the world. So I'm just going to fill up a few more, put a few more bits and pieces in, and of course we need something on the top of the tree. Now for me, that's a star. So I'm going to place in a star. Quite a big one. Lovely. When you're done with all your Christmas decorations, just let it dry and we can pop in the tree. So for Christmas tree colours, we have got 2 greens in the palette. So this here is a very sort of vibrant piney green. We'll keep that in the mix, but then here is a bit too bright, isn't it? So I'm going to add a small amount of French ultramarine blue to that, maybe a little more, just knocking it back a little bit. Yeah, I like that. And then how about some of that with a little bit of blue in, and to make it stop it going really blue, we'll put a bit of brown in as well. And we've got 3 really good colours. Just tweak it a little bit, maybe a bit more green in there. 3 really nice colours to make our Christmas tree with. So I'm going to start with the sort of, this middle one is probably the lightest of 3. I've got my size 0 brush, and I'm going to just carefully start to sort of place in nice little sort of pointy brush strokes that come sort of around the decorations. Now they're dry. I'm starting from the bottom. And I'm going to work my way upwards, so start with a little sort of pointy stroke on the outside, and then just sort of use the brush to dab in around the Christmas decorations. And then I think what I'll do is I'll use the other 2 colours to sort of add in some streaks of extra sort of texture as I go up through the tree. And you can make your ornaments sort of different sizes if you know, you just find that it's difficult to keep working around them. That's absolutely fine. But the red and blue will sort of hold up quite nicely against these green tones. The yellow obviously will be hidden if we paint over it, but that's cool. So we're just going to work our way up the tree as we go. And you could always leave some little white dots as well, couldn't you, if you wanted? That's quite fun. What I love is seeing everybody's individual take on these illustrations. It's always nice to find new ways to paint the classics. So that's looking really fun, just adding lots of little dabs and dashes of the darker greens in there. And now it's time to just do the bottom area. So we've got a brown trunk. I think we're fine with burnt sienna. And of course, if you find that you want to do your own choices of colours or pick up a different size brush to me, that's absolutely fine. You do what you need to do. So I've just got my smallest brush here and just filling in that area there. So a few dashes, I think. And then the pot, I think if I grab some of the red and maybe some alizarin crimson. So the first rule of mixing your colours with large brushes, I have broken that rule already, so you are, you're already better than me at this. So I'm going to do, I think I might do a little sort of base in this colour, maybe a stripe of something. That's nice, and then just filling in around the side there. And that is pretty much done. What I love to do is add a little bit of shadow just to make my illustrations even more sort of lifelike and vibrant. But if you feel like that's enough for me, Harriet, that is fine. I've got things to do in this 1st of December busy day, then that's cool. But I'm going to give it a little dry and then I'm going to add a tiny bit of shadow just to finish off. So for me, my favourite mix for shadow is burnt sienna and French ultramarine blue. I only need a tiny weeny bit, but I just feel like maybe a little bit just on the tree trunk there. A little bit underneath, and then maybe just a bit sort of under the star there. Hardly any, but just a nice little touch. Okay, so that is our 1st of December Advent tutorial done. I can't wait to see you tomorrow to see what's behind the door.